ਓਟਾਵਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਾਤਾਵਰਣ ਅਤੇ ਮੌਸਮ ਤਬਦੀਲੀ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਜੋਨਾਥਨ ਵਿਲਕਿਨਸ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੌਜਵਾਨਾਂ ਵਿਗਿਆਨੀਆਂ ਅਤੇ ਖੋਜਕਰਤਾਵਾਂ ਲਈ $206 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਕਲਾਈਮੇਟ ਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਪਲਾਨ ਫੰਡ ਦਾ ਐਲਾਨ ਕੀਤਾ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਫੰਡ ਕਲਾਈਮੇਟ ਚੇਂਜ ਤੇ ਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਲਈ ਸਹਾਈ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ, ਜਿਸ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਥਿੰਕ ਟੈਕ ਕਲਾਈਮੇਟ ਸਾਇੰਟੀਫਿਕ ਰਿਸਰਚ ਲਈ ਸਹਾਈ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ।
Today I am pleased to announce one such tool, the new Climate Action and Awareness Fund, an investment of $206 million. This funding comes from the existing Climate Action Fund, as well as significant investment from the Environmental Damages Fund. The Damages Fund, as many will know, collects fines from polluters who violate Canada's environmental laws and invests them in environmental protection. It ensures that environmental good follows environmental harm. The new Climate Action and Awareness Fund will target 4 key areas: creating youth awareness, engagement, and action, community-based climate action projects, advancing climate science and technology, and supporting academia and think tank organizations to better understand and support our transition to net zero greenhouse gas emissions. We know that by taking bold action and by partnering with Canadians and communities right across this country, we can and we will reach our ambitious targets of exceeding our current Paris Agreement target for 2030 and achieving net zero emissions by 2050. As we will do so in a manner that promotes long-term economic growth and job creation, certainly we are all aware that the global shift towards a low-carbon future is creating enormous economic opportunities. As we build back from this pandemic, we must rebuild an economy and a society that is stronger, more sustainable, and more resilient than before. We must reflect on what it means and apply the lessons learned during the pandemic to fighting climate change. Today, as part of the announcement of this new fund, I am also very pleased to open a request for proposals for community-based climate action projects. We will be investing up to $50 million of the $206 million in community-based projects over the next 5 years. Engaging local groups and communities in directly combating climate change is extremely important. It is something that local organizations across the country have been calling for. Examples of these climate action projects would be an active transportation campaign to get more people walking and biking, implementing nature-based climate solutions that protect nature and reduce carbon pollution in your local community, or a local climate action created by an Indigenous organization. Investments like today are just one part of Canada's comprehensive climate plan. It is a plan that has put us on track for by far the biggest carbon emissions reduction in Canada's history. Nous avons appris pendant la pandémie que des petits gestes individuels peuvent avoir des effets positifs sur la santé d'une communauté, d'une province et d'un pays. C'est vrai aussi dans notre lutte contre le changement climatique. Nous devons travailler ensemble pour créer un avenir plus vert et prospère pour nos enfants et nos petits-enfants. We learned from the pandemic that small individual actions can have a positive effect on the health of communities, provinces, and the country as a whole. The same is true with individual climate action. By working together, we can create a greener and a more prosperous future for our children and for our grandchildren. Thank you very much for joining us here today.